Tighten up, family. This is Balance. I'm here to share my experience, my strength, and my hope. I'm going to give thanks to, first and foremost, the ancestors, my ancestors, Ashe. So I want to talk a little bit about, as I mentioned, my hope. Hope is an emotion greater than fear. And so today I was actually hoping that for me to continue to stay on this path of ascension. It's a tough path. Um, there's a pattern that I find myself sometimes getting into, which is 1 minute I'm in it, the next minute I'm out. So here's the reality. I do yoga. I'm a yoga teacher, and I do Tai Chi. I've been doing yoga for like 15 years, 9 years, no, about 20 years, 9 years I have had my certification. I do Tai Chi, which moves the energy. Chi, air, life force. That's actually what air is for air signs. I'm an air sign. Okay. So, my new norm, you know, um, sometime, I can get into it like I have and be in it for a while, and then I'll go through like a relapse. I'll slip up, and I couldn't understand why until recently, how sometimes I fall into these patterns that I repeatedly create a condition of working out. Could be for 60 days, and I'll go through this moment. Maybe it's a reflection moment that I get the chance to, level up. But for me, ever since I was a child, I used to have, bad asthma. And that's when you shortness of breath. That's air. So anytime your element becomes a problem, when you should be mastering it, but when you're a child, you don't know, especially when the people around you, even some adults now don't know they should be mastering their element. My element is air. I'm a Libra. Okay, so here's the reality. So as I mentioned, even when I used to smoke weed, get high, I'd be high and can't breathe, be at the hospital, right? So in that process of, I've always been like a tomboy, playing ball and, working the air and all that. And what I find for me is that, it even tells that in my natal chart, it goes into compete, competition, and that's kind of like my characters to some, just very playful and like to be competition physically, exercise, keep myself in shape, keep myself looking awesome. You know what I'm saying? So, and all that, you know, um, so I'm in all that, and then I goes to these relapse moments, and I'm learning because I'm in a new means of um, frequency, leveling up, and there's no, you can't, you gotta, like I'm learning, I have to keep going forward. You have to keep going forward to see not just results, but that's what change is. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So I'm just like, I was going through some stuff, trying to figure out like far as energy, and like actually doing my Tai Chi and and then yoga, and I stopped, and so some balled up energy was, when you going through these, doing the yoga, and energy flows around because we got electromagnetic field, but this, bringing it up at your kundalini energy from your feet on up, from the roots on up, through your head to enlightenment, ascension. So I was experiencing the energy flowing well, I can't say getting stuck because that is the process too. I noticed once I had got a colonic, which is to clean out my organs, my chakras. Like I mentioned, every fall, you should go through some kind of cleansing your system. So I did a colonic recent, and that reacted actually, causing, which is awesome. Opening my chakras, sending the energy up. So the energy kind of got trapped because I wasn't doing my yoga. I felt at the time, got lazy, and just was like, going into, relapse, going into bad behavior, familiar areas. Doesn't mean that it's good, right? And so I realized today, because today what happened was, during childhood, during birth, I had a past life experience where I went through birth, and I realized that I was being birthed backwards, and that the cord was wrapped around my left arm. I always had a problem with my left side, you know, um, and I burnt this arm, broke this arm, you name it, stitches in this arm. Um, so the left side. So, but yet I learned a few years ago, because during my drug use, I had damaged like my left nostril. Like I never really could get the air flowing through both nostrils until maybe a couple of years ago. I started doing breath work, working, that's my life, working through it, and got through balancing, because when you can breathe out of both nose, and also I'm an ambidextrous, it's when you can write with both hands, because I practiced a couple of years ago, and so that's what balance is. This is balance. So I'm all about the mad scientist, working on myself. But I had to recognize and accept my new norm, because today I'm actually coming out of the hospital, because of the energy. I knew what it was because last night I work in a military area. I'm a substance abuse counselor, okay? And I work with, veterans and stuff as a substance abuse. So, I was going through doing breath work because I had, like I said, this stuck energy, and I was wondering, hey, because I know what to do. You know how to treat yourself. You're your own doctor. You know what I'm saying? When I came here, it's just to get clearance, just to, keep it moving. So last night I was doing breath work, and I'm an air sign, so it got that energy up, right? And I was like, wow, this is for real, yo. We got to surrender to who we are, and adapt to it, to our new norm. Sometimes we around people and it gets lonely. Sometimes you get around, a lot of people they're not dedicated for the results and enjoying life. They think it's not on the outside, it's about sharing, once I'm in the inside as well. So I just wanted to talk about that. So I had to come here. I got cleared. I mean, they couldn't come up with nothing. They couldn't tell me nothing. I just needed to get clear before I go back into my norm and not let up. I'm not going to let up, because this is it. This is my life. I can't, even on this path is lonely, and, because you don't meet people who's awakened, who's going through, because when your Kundalini energy rises up from the core of your spine, it's the energy, it's a serpent energy of the male and female. So you become bound, it crawls up to your spine, goes up, and it opens up your comes out to your crown and opens it up. It's a cord. You can see it connected. It's like your third eye. That's what people say, but your third eye is actually your first eye. It's just becoming conscious of what these organs, which is chakras, is more about. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about, accepting our norm. I was listening to David Goggins. That's one of my brothers, man. He's a military person. I'm not a military person. I work with military. I'm not a service person. I have service family members. But he's just like, with me, you got to be militant. And like I say, even in my natal chart, I can see it, But this is balance. I love you. No one told you that. Ashe. And if I didn't say, we first and foremost to give thanks to the ancestors, my ancestors, Ashe.